me with my full pack, weighing 130 pounds, height, what the heck height, 5 feet I guess, trudged into shore,
Wow.
and there they were. The Japs were waiting for us.
But you got them, huh?
And, well, they got us and we got them.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
So what else am I supposed to say?
That's whatever you want to educate him right now. Because what he hears from you is all he's going to hear. So.
That's right. That's amazing.
Well, they had steam shovels there at the shore, and they made a big, what do you call it, trowel or ditch, and the ones that got shot, they put them all in this hole and
Wow.
covered them over.
Wow.
And then I was assigned shipped to shore for 3 days, thank God, instead of being out there in the
Wow.
wilderness. And all night long, gunshot overhead.
How old were you, Uncle Gaston?
And
How old were you?
how old was I? I guess about 18.
Wow. Wow.
And
Who was taking care of your shop when you were there? Because you just bought the shop before the war started, didn't you?
what'd you say?
Who was taking care of the shop while you were gone? You
My
just-
sister,
Okay.
Frances.
Because you bought the shop before the war, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
that
30.
was in 1930. About 1945.
Well, 39. You bought shop when you were 21, right? Just before you turned 21.
I didn't get that.
You bought the shop just before you turned 21. I think I had read.
Yeah.
You weren't old enough to sign the contract
Right,
yet.
right.
So that would have been like 1939.
Oh,
Well, I think it was 42.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben, thank you.
you're welcome.
There's companion
Turn it
pieces
around,
to go
let's
with
see the
that.
rim.
We just have to.
Turn it around.
They can't see the 77.
Oh, that's really nice.
Craig,
Yeah.
Pardon me?
you make it?
Very
No,
nice.
it's just a signal corps flag. You
Oh.
just assigned the division.
Oh.
With,
Oh,
I
wow.
got with heraldry.
That's really amazing.
Not yet, Dad.
Okay, Dad, we can hear it now. Okay, Uncle Gaston.
All right,
The
ready?
story of the coat.
Story of the coat.
Tell us the story of your coat.
I mean,
Date?
42. April Fool's Day.
It's right here.
April 1st. Was it
Anybody
42?
else?
Yes, sir.
Write it down to
42.
send to anybody.
A buddy of mine
Here you go, Craig.
that
Thanks.
I needed a haircut. And he was a buddy of mine, and he was a barber. Of course, I have a different barber now. He gives me a shave.
Aw.
And of course, his name is James Schilling, the famous ball player. So we went up to Fort Dix with my Model A Ford, and it was raining like hell that day. And the sergeant measured me up, well, he was a tailor, for an overcoat. I said, uh-oh, it looks like we're going where it's cold. So he measured me up, and he measured my buddy up, Frank, his name was. And so then he says, we'll have to get a tailor-made top coat for you. Says it'll take 2 days. So I waited, I think it was about a week before he said, yours is ready. tried it on, yep, fits like a glove.
But what happened during that week?
It rained like hell.
No, but what happened? The other guys were sent out already.
Oh, so in the meantime, my buddy Frank and the others were shipped all over the United States. And I was in my barracks reading comic books.
That's where your money was going for the army back then.
So then, now you got free beer.
There you
Oh,
go.
see?
Cases.
I mean, no.
Money well spent.
So then
And,
you got
So
your
then he
coat.
said, your
Oh.
coat's ready to fit you, so,
No, but what happened? All your guys got sent out
yeah, they all got sent out
to
to
the front line.
Africa and all different places which I don't know of, but I know where I was going. They built a new outfit called the 77th Infantry Division, and it took 2 years to get it all together, and there I was waiting around with orders to be shipped out when they were ready. And we went to Georgia and Arizona and different places like that.
Too hot for that coat.
And the coat, the guy went to Africa. Within 3 weeks, he got shot up and sent him back home and got him discharged. He was out of the service.
Wow.
Coat?
So I got stuck with my little weenie coat. So it pays to be short.
Yeah. Right.
So that's about it, and it's a true story.
Spread.
You were lucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get Arizona and Guam, did you?
I didn't do who?
You didn't get much use of that wool coat in Georgia and Arizona
No.
and Guam, did you?
They shipped me to Arizona, where it was as high
110.
as 110
Yeah.
degrees. It was
Wow.
really hot.
Wow.
No air conditioning.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I saw a thing in the paper
Right.
today. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, I could go on and tell you about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Listen.
Yeah, tell us.
Well,
Gaston Ragno, this is your life.
well, from I went at least 6 times back and forth with a troop train from, I guess, Georgia to, forget the name of the barracks,
What was your rank, Dad?
sergeant.
What was your job? Did you have a job or you just rode back and forth?
Oh,
I
you're
mean, did
supposed
you
to
just
be-
go from camp to camp causing crap games? What did you do?
Well, I was in a signal corps. I repaired walkie-talkies, and I went to school there at Athens, Georgia, I think. And actually, it was more like a college there, and I was there about 2 to 3 months before I graduated there.
When did you go overseas, Dad?
I went overseas in about 2 years,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
and
Tell a story about when you met Uncle Jimmy overseas.
oh yeah, and when I was in Philippines, I had contact with my brother, late brother,
Yep.
and we decided he was a sergeant first class, and he made all the arrangements for he and I to fly together to meet in Arizona, and we had breakfast together. I think it was about $30 for a fried egg sandwich
Wow.
Of course, the war was on. There, two brothers meet far, far away.
Aw.
That was politics to get you to join.
Join the army.
And what else, Jim?
I don't know.
How about landing in jail? Maybe the kids don't know about
Oh
landing
yeah, I
in jail.
did go to jail. Oh, I stole cans of food from the CB. Climbed their fence, me and my buddy, and handed the cases of canned fruits, vegetables, or whatever. Sergeant said, whatever you can grab, hail a Jeep and put them on the Jeep and bring them back. And that's what we did. And we got caught. And of course, we got out the next
Where were ya?
morning.
In jail.
No,
Yeah.
where?
Jail dummy.
This is in the Philippines.
Oh.
Oh, she
I think
ended
it was
up in
Lady.
the stockade.
Huh?
You were in the stockade then. You spent a night, right?
Lady.
Yeah, a night in the stockade.
Oh, stockade, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get to keep
Military police get you or the shore patrol?
Military.
Ha
It's
Kinda had to bribe
kitchen
people,
table,
Dad.
black case.
And you can't trust those CVs. That's what my dad was. Well, thank you for your service, sucker. Soldier. I'm sorry. Should we sing happy birthday while he's doing
No,
that?
not
Well,
yet.
I mean, the
No.
first one. He's got 96 of them.
We have a
Come on.
cake. We have to do it with the cake.
Are we gonna do it with the cake?
We have a cake.
A
But
cake.
it's not 96
The
yet.
bonus
You're,
plan.
you're
It's
pushing it
tomorrow.
here.
Oh,
You're
it's
pushing it
tomorrow.
here, yeah. It's,
Yeah, I guess about a year and a half,
Wow. How long were you in the service altogether?
4 years,
And then you went back to Rosedale after the 4 years, right?
right.
Was Uncle Joe in the service the same time you were, or was he too young?
He was too young at when I was in,
Uh-huh.
but through politics and Ruba the dentist, a lieutenant in the service, he was able to steer a boat from dry land. He never saw water,
Wow.
and he was a sailor. So he did all his secretarial work in Washington.
Okay.
And while you were in the Philippines, was my dad Belgium or?
Yeah.
So our dad was over in Europe when
Uncle
you were.
Charlie?
Charlie was in Europe
Cool.
when you were in Philippines.
Hey, Ro.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
Did
sorry.
you
Well, I
get your-
forgot we're filming. I wanted to tell that story. I was thinking of your father on the last day of the Phillies.
Wait, I need to.
I said, yeah.
you're a tech sergeant, right? Tech sergeant?
Yeah. Oh, I was telling. Did I tell you about the rifle?
You had mentioned it, but I think it's good to tell a story again. I was going to say you probably got paid an extra $3 for that the first time, but
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and tell the story again, because Sal, everybody else hasn't
Well,
heard
we
it.
went out to the infantry division
Mm-hmm.
to get our practice with a rifle, M1, and since I was a teeny weeny bit soldier, I fired the gun. I think it was about 2 miles, or I forget. But anyhow, I fired and hit the bullseye, and I hit it again, and I hit it again. So this lieutenant in charge rushed over to me, shook my hand. Man, you're just the man we want. You'll be good as a scout. So later on, I found out what a scout is. You're head of the line, lead the troops, and get them situated, so I said to myself, Scott is the head of the lines, and all the others are in the back here. And I said, that ain't for me. So from then on, I was a lousy shot. And I went and repaired walkie-talkies.
Yeah, good for you. Good job.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to be in the front with nobody else in front of you. Not even a horse, you know. Yeah, a horse would deflect it just a little.
There's some things you shouldn't be good at.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You're one
He was
smart
quick.
cookie.
Uh-huh.
The first time I met Charlie, he was sitting in his chair, and I looked at the picture next to him. I had to laugh because it's a kind of an oxymoron for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because here he was in his dress uniform, and the picture he had sitting there
Yeah.
with a medical caduceus on his collar and a marksman badge.
Okay.
And I said, that just presents a funny picture to me. See the caduceus together with the marksman badge. He
Yeah,
goes,
it's kind of like
it's like,
night and day.
he goes, $3 more a month.
There you go.
Wow.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
When my old man, when my father was in his Seabees, when the first time he went to Okinawa, which by the way, there was a typhoon today in Okinawa.
Oh my God.
And it was so weird. It was like, because I remember him telling me all about, he gets there, they're there for 3 days, right? And the typhoon hits. His one chief, and he gets hurt the 3 days after he's there. He has to go back to Pearl because this one chief needs him because he runs the kitchen and knows where everything is, right?
Okay.
So he sends him back to Pearl. He comes back maybe 3-4 months later, and he's there 4 more days and another typhoon hits. And he told him, Schilling, you ain't leaving this island no more. and that typhoon hit in Okinawa today. It was on the north end of Okinawa.
Okay.
And he told me that there were ships in the harbor, and there was a dock like right there, and they just went up on the dock, and they just sat on the dock. They were over on their sides.
Wow.
And all of his kitchen stuff, his entire kitchen, went away.
Okay.
And it was like, you know, and they come up and they go, well, how are we going to eat? So it's called digging pits.
Yeah.
But they cooked. I mean, it was amazing. Okinawa was tough. All them islands
Dad
were.
must
All
not
that
have
stuff
cooked
was tough.
because he could
Did
never
you
cook.
did you ever go in the South Pacific at all, Dad? Or
Yeah,
where were you there?
Well, as far as Japan,
Wow.
Hey, Ben, could you grab me
Japan.
that folder
That's
right
right.
there,
When,
please?
when you
For
were
a
in the
second.
Philippines, when did they move you there? After the bomb went off, I hope?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, because you have that
Ben.
sword, right? Then you
Yeah.
get a sword. You got a sword
Yeah,
from
off of a Jap-
some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bought it from Jamie
Japanese.
Clark.
Ben,
Oh, no, that's not him.
step that way. There's a folder right there with a soldier with a helmet on.
Yeah, that's
You
Dad.
want to hand that to me?
Is that your dad?
Gosh.
Hand it to me. I know it's his. I know it's his stuff.
Hold on.
That's your dad?
Oh my gosh. No, that's his picture.
Yeah.
Not him. That's what he told me.
That's what he
That's
said.
his stuff. I think that's an
That's
advertising
just-
ad.
It's the guy that came with the wallet.
That's the guy
Can you
that came
believe
with the
this?
wallet.
That's his.
That's
This is
his-
discharge paper.
I'm thinking that doesn't look like
And why does it
So-
say down the bottom, throw him?
Go ahead. Go ahead, dear.
No, I was gonna ask, but you can ask your question first. if you want. I was gonna ask if Aunt Jo and Uncle Gaston could tell us about the first time Uncle Gaston met Karina and Charlie, because you already knew Karina and Charlie. But when was the first time Uncle Gaston met my mother, our mother and father?
Were you, was it
I
before?
remember
Yeah.
clearly, but I don't remember when.
Was it before you were engaged
But
and
I
all, right?
I could remember.
Right.
The
I remember
meeting.
hearing my mom tell the stories all the time of
Dad, do
all
you
that.
remember?
Do you remember when you met my mom and dad?
And Angela.
No.
No, no.
Karina and
No,
Charlie.
No.
Karina
Oh,
and
Karina
Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
When
Was-
I met them,
Yeah.
You
Was
remember?
it at the zoo?
No, that was my mom and dad. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, you wait.
My mother.
Because you know payback's coming.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Dad?
When? How did you? Well, you were. How did you meet Aunt Jo? Let's start with that. How did you meet Aunt Joe?
I know
What-
that.
Which thing do you want to know first?
How you met Aunt Joe?
Two mafia guys
she
came over
came
and went, "You're gonna
first."
marry this broad."
She came first before you met my mom and dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so how'd you meet Aunt Joe?
In 1937,
Mm-hmm.
she was walking by the store.
Oh.
I had my crab net.
You mean you gave him, Mom? You gave him? No, never mind.
And
I
you
can't.
tossed the net and got her, huh?
Nah.
She came in and made believe she wanted to buy music,
Oh.
but she had an eye on me.
Ooh.
And I had an
Yeah,
eye
but
on
wasn't
her.
I with Norma?
Norma.
And what year was it?
Ooh, Norma.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
What year
Now,
was that?
so how did you know? How did you know
Seven.
him? Like, did you just
We
see
just,
him?
she said, let's go in the store.
Oh, and you just saw him and thought
We
he
were
was
walking.
cute.
In those days, you could walk down Main Street,
Yeah,
no
right.
problem,
Without
but
getting
not
shot.
today.
Right.
Yeah, or
Right.
you have to buy crack.
Right.
Or
So then, all right. So then, how did she introduce you to my mom and dad?
Well, it wasn't really.
Not right away.
Later. Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, there was a carnival down at St. Peter's Church,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there, and her with her beautiful blinking eyes.
Oh, man.
She grabbed me,
He is
She
drunk.
grabbed you? Ooh.
and that was the beginning.
Wow. That's what I should have done then.
See, you should have
We'll
went to
have
the
to come to
carnival.
Pleasantville.
Oh, great. I'll grab somebody really good at that.
Oh yeah, down at Martin's liquor store.
Select the name of the site.
Oh, they know Jose's down there. There's a lot of Leroy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, hey,
I got a
Lamont,
special guy
Leroy,
for you.
Oh,
Leonard.
cool. So, all right. So then you and Aunt
Swinella.
Joe were going to my parents. Did you go to my grandparents and then everybody was there? Do you remember?
Your mother and father
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah, at my
Well, not
grandparents.
at the first time.
Huh?
Not the first
That's
time.
it.
What?
When mother and father were there.
Right. But when you met Prina and Charlie, was that in Philadelphia or were they here?
That was here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so they
You
came
remember-
to see you.
Did you meet
there
them
was
both
a party
together?
at her house. and I
Oh.
was there.
Oh.
Were they both together or was it just my mother? Was it just Prina?
No, your
Both of them?
your dad was there.
Yeah, because weren't they married
In
before
41?
Aunt Joe and Uncle Gaston?
When did they get married, Aunt Joe?
50.
48.
Yeah,
June
Mom and Dad got
30th,
married
1951.
That's
you were
Yeah.
51. They were married.
in 48.
in 48.
Right. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Well, you
'cause I-
guys waited a long time to get married. My parents met. They were married 3 days later.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the way to
Really?
do it.
They wrote to each other.
I'm grabbing somebody and you're it, honey.
They wrote to each other.
Yeah. Dad was in Asia, and they were writing back and forth for a couple of years. My mother was building tank engines
Oh God.
in Buick, and
Wow.
I like that.
yeah, her cousin, she was taking care of his cousin's kids once in a while. She'd babysit for his cousin's kids. So
Adorable.
his cousin said to him, "Would you drop a note, say how wonderful my kids are to my cousin I'm writing to." So my mother put a note in there because she babysat for the kids sometimes, and then my dad took that as an opening since he was lonely in Asia. They wrote back and forth for a couple of years, but when he got shipped back stateside, late '44, he said, "Well, maybe I can get a delay in assignment," because he was going to because he'd been overseas for 3 years by then. And he did. They gave him 2 weeks to come visit his brother. He borrowed a car from his brother in Toledo, drove up, met my mother on a Friday. They got married on Sunday.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Wow.
I like that.
Mom, what about, didn't Dad have a hard time with commitment because of...
What?
Didn't Dad have a hard time with commitment because of Aunt Frances had to get married first?
Oh, yeah.
One of
Oh,
those
one of
sisters.
those deals.
Yeah, so what happened?
I didn't say
Yeah.
nothing when you
What
wanted
did
to
you
get
tell
married.
And I
Dad?
told him, that's it. If you want to wait for her, you can wait for her.
There you go.
Whoa, Joe. Way to go,
Go,
girl.
Tough.
Go, girl.
Who got married first?
Aunt Frances never.
Oh,
did
she
this.
got married much later. She married
Yeah.
a Jewish
Blind
Oh, I
guy.
remember.
Right. Blind guy.
Jewish blind guy.
It's very descriptive.
No, and then she married.
Oh
No, that's who we're talking about.
No,
No,
then-
that's you only married
She only
once.
married once. That's what it was
Once.
Aunt
No,
Tess.
you only marry
had
something
Dan,
like
Tess
that
and Dan.
once. That ain't gonna happen again. Uncle, nobody's gonna be that dumb again.
Uncle Gaston, where were you
terrible.
born? Where were you born?
Rosedale,
Rosedale, what state?
New Jersey.
It's
Well,
like-
see, it says right here. It's very official. You only thought you were born there. It says here you were born in Hamilton, New York. It's right there on your discharge paper.
Oh
that
my
makes
God.
it official.
So it should be Hamilton,
Oh,
New
yeah.
Should be
Jersey.
Yeah,
Hamilton,
it
New
says
Jersey,
New
but
York.
it's
They said
Hamilton,
New York.
So I sued for your back
How
pay.
about
Typo.
Wow.
That was a
Dad,
typo.
sue for your back
I
pay
didn't
to the
even
guy in
see
Hamilton,
that.
New York.
Says you were five. It says you were 5'1.5" and 140 pounds. How much do you weigh now?
Careful.
Careful.
Around 140, 135.
There you go.
Good
Yeah.
for you, God.
There you go. Good for you.
Ben, be careful.
What was your address, Dad?
Address?
Yeah. When
Oh,
you
it's like
lived
the-
in Hamilton.
Oh,
I know the name of the street.
True Road,
That's
Hamilton.
right.
Yeah.
That's just 1102 or
10:01.
1002.
1002.
What's that thing about 10 illegitimate children? What? No, my God, no.
Well, it says here, not that I can pronounce these places, Eastern Mandates, Raikakos, and Southern Philippines campaigns.
Huh. Wow.
Nice.
Careful with your fingers on there.
So you're a Filipino.
And it says a year and 8 months overseas. So you got about a year and 8 months and a half overseas. But if you ever thought you were born in Hamilton, New Jersey, you must be wrong because it's official. They even got your fingerprint
Yep.
on it.
I'd
Yeah.
sue the guy.
Hamilton, New York, it says that.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
been
that's
transplanted.
it.
Did you ever
You've been
know it said
transplanted.
that?
I didn't know
It
that.
was a typo.
Yeah.
I like that.
But they still left him out.
How
That's
about
pretty
that?
good. That's pretty good.
Well, I have a certificate,
This is
but
it.
I don't
This
think-
is
This,
it.
this is your
That's
discharge certificate
That's
I'm
your
reading.
papers,
Ben.
Dad.
The original one. It was sitting right over there. So I asked Ben to carry it over to me. Yepers. Says they gave you money when you got out too. Do you still have it?
That's
They
what I
gave you a
used to
buck
buy the
280.
store.
There you go. Right here, you just put it back into the store. By the time you got out, you already owned the store.
Angela and Sal, do you know that Aunt Frances ran the record shop while he was
While he was,
Yeah.
I knew
That's
that
not
today.
her,
He
yeah.
said that today.
Yes, and she got accused of selling rusty picks.
Oh.
what's a pick?
Yeah, for
For a
guitar.
Guitar pick.
A rusty pick. I'm one
Yeah.
used to tortoise shell and plastic. I didn't even think about steel. So
She was a tough cookie.
I remember.
Yeah. But she had loved Postum. That was
Oh yes,
Oh,
we
God,
all
cool.
remember the
Duct
post
tape.
them.
and duct tape
Yes.
and paper towels.
Oh yes, yes.
Like Nan and her green tape.
Yeah.
The green tape
Oh my
on
God.
stuff.
On the
Every
rugs.
time I was in
Yes.
a room with her, I thought there was I was a mouse and she was a hawk. She would watch you
So Dad,
every move.
Yeah.
what about
Oh, is that it?
when did you have a welcoming when you came home? Was there no? You just came home and
Yeah, the
hey, how
mayor
you doing?
came over and gave him $1. Here
It's
you
been
go.
4
Here's
years.
$1 for you.
Do you want some more pasta?
Want some more wine?
No, I'm full.
You're
So
full?
what
You eat much.
No welcoming?
How many pounds did you make?
12.
That's enough.
No
Bring the
welcoming,
homeless in.
Dad?
Here they are.
No welcome home or anything?
Huh.
What grandmom do?
did she
Clean-
bake you a
She
cake?
said, clean your room.
Clean your room.
Probably in those days they didn't do it.
Yeah, probably not.
Everybody's coming home. Yeah, it looks like you got home. It looks, according to this, not this has to be right, we know,
Mm-hmm.
but you got out a week before Christmas in 45. It
Nice.
says December 18th to 45, according to the official documents.
Is that when you got discharged?
A week before Christmas?
That's when they sent him home.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it says. You're discharged at Fort Dix on December 18, 1945,
Good old Fort Dix.
according
Still
to
there.
this.
And when did you get married?
51.
51.
And their weddings, their reception was in Perone Hall, and I used to do bingo there for church.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where they used to do bingo.
That hall
Gorgeous.
served a lot of people. You
Oh, I
know, they
bet.
had a lot of
Gorgeous.
weddings receptions
How
there.
about that?
Beautiful hall. It had them big pillars.
Wow.
It was really, and you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Gaston and Katie. Happy birthday to you. you.
Cha,
Make
cha,
a
cha.
wish.
And many more.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
You are a lot of wins.
He's a prize fighter, Dad. Prize fighter.
You go.
That was